Sup, Epic Humans, and welcome to the completed run that I could not get on the stream that I was doing a couple of days ago. I was originally planning on this video to have commentary during the play through, but I kept dying, ultimately making me laser focused to completing this. Yeah, it was quite frustrating, so I'm switching over to survival mode now. And the good news is I do not try to switch back for any reason, because I did give myself enough resources to complete it. Now, this challenge is based off the one I did almost 2 years ago, back in September 2019, with me flooding the end dimension. But upon realization, I truly don't need water at all to beat the end dragon in one try. And, that's goes with the no iron, armor, diamond. But, I want to add an extra special challenge where I do it without ender pearls, beds, and whatever else reduces fall damage. So, as you can see, I clearly wanted to increase the difficulty. Now, there's a couple other factors that I need to get good at and definitely hate practicing. So, I tried to go from the front side. Actually, I originally tried doing this challenge from the back side of the towers, but I didn't know where the Ender Dragon was, and he would randomly hit me from behind, and it would cause a bunch of deaths. That is super frustrating, and I'm not doing that anymore. So I learned, like yesterday, it was best to bridge from the front, so then you can see where the Ender Dragon is. It's still quite risky. Like, there are still times where, I only fell off once, but I was able to recover, and it was completely my fault as well. And the Ender Dragon never knocked me back, maybe a little bit for a couple times. I'm just messing around a bit. But the main important thing I had to do in this challenge was look at the ground, or else, Enderman will get me. And it ain't fun dealing with Enderman. But it is easier to deal with the manholes, but now I used to bum rush into the end dimension, trying to make the manholes, but it's better just to go fast. And for some reason, is that one Enderman just started running after me when I wasn't even looking at it. Yeah, I can slow down the clip a little bit, but there it is. Now I'm gonna skip past the grind of it, just keep teleporting away. Just let the Ender Dragon kill it, is what you see right now. It's gonna hit me too, but that's okay. I didn't really. I knew just back into this corner and heal was the safest option, because usually the Ender Dragon does not go and hit me if I'm hiding from it, unless the only time it does hit me is when I'm climbing up the towers or when it's perching. So that can be quite tricky to deal with. Now, the sad thing is, going back to the video I made 2 years ago, when with all of the I kind of started the video with all the end crystals shattered, and if you want to know the process behind it, I still remember it after almost 2 years of doing the challenge off screen. I didn't do what I'm doing right now. I didn't put the 2 blocks in front and then me standing on 1 block and then slapping the end crystal. I didn't do that. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. Hey, you saw it already, but it's like really the best strategy is 2 blocks up. Now here, this is the only time I fell down. You can see I just forgot about the ender, the dragon's breath, and it ultimately knocked me down. But I was in a good spot. If you do it straight like that. Now I do make cuts because there are times when the Ender Dragon does a really good job guarding. That is super annoying. So you just gotta be patient. I've learned to deal with it. This challenge, although it would be fun if other people did it, I ultimately feel like it isn't really that fun. I was determined to complete it to one up myself, and I will literally say that at the end because I'll turn off the audio soon, or not soon, at the end of the video. But I will say, when I was destroying those crystals without the strategy, I died like all 8 times when I was towering up. I don't even think I used a bow or an arrow. And maybe at the end of the fight I did, but if I rewatch that video. But during it, yes, I kind of like tried backing away. I tried like bridging out a little bit or something, and you wouldn't be in range, but I guess that's what I tried doing. it was Small Brain. As you can see, that was much smarter. Now, I do have a bunch of other fails that I did, but I'm gonna delete that. You know, unless you want to see more of me, just me failing challenges that I want to do, then I'll up for that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button only if you want to see stream fails or something. You can definitely make that, but I have more content I want to make, so it's not that. But me dying to those ender crystals is what ultimately inspired me to do this at One Life. And that's exactly why this video took too long. It took a while to come out, a couple days later. But hey, I was proud of it. I only tried multiple times. If I can explain more of the gaps in between me reattempting this, I would say it was in the morning, and then I had to go to work, and then after that, I reattempted this one time, and I was able to do it with. Mainly, what was giving me trouble was destroying all the end crystals, because I kept dying to the Ender Dragon, because I didn't know where it was. So, the ultimate solution to that was to tower up or ladder up from the middle. I meant the front side, so you see where the Ender Dragon usually is. And yeah, you just 360 and you can see him quite easily. If you know where he is, you can tower up and make the proper decision. And it's ultimately faster, because you don't know where the Ender Dragon is. Now, I'll explain the other strategy I was doing to try to get up there. And what happened was, I would try to hide behind the freaking, I don't know what they're called, pillars, I would say, and crystal pillars. I try to hide behind them, and it works a couple of times. The Ender Dragon will fly away, and then you can just go fast. And usually, if you don't hear the roaring of the Ender Dragon, that means you're in a safe spot. But the Ender Dragon would usually follow me. So what I'd try to do then is I'd try to put a block on top of me, and hopefully it'll block the line of sight. That didn't help either. And then I'd try to mine inside, and that didn't help either. So ultimately, the only time you should stand in those corners is to eat up or something, to heal, so that no Endermen are after you. Unless an Enderman's after you, then you gotta skedaddle to the ladders and try to climb up. Definitely run the jump method is the best way to avoid that. Although, luckily, that didn't really happen in this run. Only 2 times Enderman ran after me. You already saw the first time. Okay, this is the last tower, so... As you can see, the frontal method is working, and the only way it can work is if you know where the Ender Dragon is. You gotta listen to audio cues. I really wanted to do this with music, if I was gonna do post-commentary. Listen to my nice, sick jams. But, no, I really need to focus where the Ender Dragon is. There's Enderman after me. Everything, any location. That's very important. But here I am digging up the manhole. And these are important, not just for obvious reasons of the 3-block-tall Enderman, but also I can stand on them and I can, get a little closer to shooting the Ender Dragon. Now, before, there was another strategy I was trying. I was trying to, build a staircase, like maybe 10 blocks tall. I would run up it, and I would try to shoot the Ender Dragon. And the stupid thing is, whenever the Ender Dragon would come to perch, he would attack me a lot. He would literally hit me down. I'm just losing too much health. That's just, it's not the way to go. It's not smart. Now, we're getting to the true hard part about this challenge, which is 100% the Ender Dragon, and its ability to yeet me as random as possible. So, the other reason it took so long to do this challenge was the simple fact that I couldn't really hit the Ender Dragon while I was perching, because it would kept yeeting me at random times, and I'm like, oh crap, how do I do this? Well, the good news is, I figured out the best way to attack him is when he's roaring, so as you can see, I'm just looking down and waiting for him, because if I look up, Enderman will hit me. Actually, I almost beat the challenge a couple days ago, but the ultimate thing that failed was Enderman got me. Enderman ran after me, and I was totally unprepared for it, and I didn't run to one of the manholes to survive. And that's the ultimate. So that just taught me to look down at all times until, the Ender Dragon roars, run up, take a couple swings. Now, you notice I'm using a sword, but this ultimately shows why armor is not really necessary to beat the Ender Dragon at all. I mean, you can definitely use it, but why not manholes or ladders? Although though. They do provide some sort of risk factor. Definitely don't do this on hardcore. I would prefer my Sharpness 5 sword I used in my No Mind World. That would be dope to use. But looking back on my old version of doing this challenge with the water, the Ender Dragon never really yeeted me into space. And that kind of bugs me a lot, because that was the whole point, was to avoid it. Now, maybe he did like one, yeeted me to a spot where I probably lose half my health, but it's kind of frustrating that I wouldn't do it at all. I kind of wanted it to happen. You know, maybe I should just create a separate stream to watching the Ender Dragon yeet me with a lot of water. And it'll feel pretty satisfying. We gotta do some satisfying videos if I ever need to do that. If anyone does this challenge, I would not allow anyone to use the bow and arrows to take out the end crystals, because it clearly takes away one of the sole parts of this challenge, which is to negate fall damage as much as possible, just knowing where the Ender Dragon is and attacking him at the right times. Towards the end, you can see me looking down at the void. Oh yeah, this is obvious. I'm looking down at the ground a lot. You can see that. And here's an enemy coming after me. And yeah, it hit me once. I was prepared for it this time. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, yep, let's bolt down. You know, I get a little paranoid. I get a little worried, very worried. So I just block myself off. Now, the blocking off method is not actually as good as one might think, because the Ender Dragon can still shoot the breath at you, and depending on where it goes, the Ender Dragon has been able to shoot it, and it would even go inside and hit my feet. And I have been able to defeat that with the bottles, obviously. But it can also go up overhead, and even once it gets there, blocking it off will not be possible. It will literally be there until you bottle it off. Anyways, those are some pro gamer strats that I used, that I learned. Now, yes, now let's talk about the difference between the sword and the axe. I was practicing as well with the axe. And first of all, the axe is way less durable. That's just obvious right there. I had to get 2 axes. The sword can easily last a long time. But the axe, now if you see the sword thing, I'm sure veterans, most Minecraft experts will know, the axe takes longer to recharge its potential power, and that's why I can do less damage. The sword, you can just swing faster, and the sword is slightly longer, allowing me to get hits a lot easier than the axe. I can only get like 3 hits tops when the Ender Dragon is a full roar, but the sword I can probably get like 9 if I optimize it properly. And that's ultimately why I'm using a sword now. Through getting towards the end here, you can see that I'm actually kind of shaking at this point, because I never got this close, and through training I was never able to finish off the part 2 without dying, because I was always died to an Enderman or the Ender Dragon randomly eating me. It's completely my fault. Now, once I beat it, I'm gonna unmute, and you're gonna see me super hyped, and that's exactly it. I'm super happy about this challenge. It did take a while. I was losing confidence, and as you can see, the confidence has now regained after I beat it, and now you can hear me be all happy and end with the outro. Oh, I one-upped myself. That was amazing! Amazing! Okay, we're gonna throw a little victory in the form of, heck yeah, I knew I could do it in 1 attempt. Heck yeah, I knew I didn't have to do reduced fall damage. Heck yeah, I didn't have to use water. Heck yeah, I didn't have to use beds. I'm no coward! I'm a victor! Thanks for watching!